Hey everybody, it is December 1st.
Hi.
Hey everybody, it's December 1st, 2022. And that was my co-host.
Miss Kitty Fox.
Sneezing into my microphone.
I was coughing.
Coughing into my microphone. See, I don't even know what's going on. Because I don't know as much about Casey Anthony's going on, and I didn't read the books about her, I figured I'd have Miss Kitty Fox do some of more reactionary to this article that I found from Time when I was debunking them earlier today.
I hope I can remember. I remember. I did read the book, and this was in what, 2012?
Well, the trial was in 2011, so it might have ended in 2012.
Okay, because I'm thinking this might have been the time when I was able to work from home and able to watch court TV.
Yeah.
And
I remember.
yeah,
you're like,
and I binge watched it. Yeah.
every day, new details,
Every
and it's
day.
like, it's too much for me. I can't stand this much drama. No, so yeah.
Okay, so this was 11 years ago, so we'll have to see if I remember.
And trigger warning, this story contains mention of things involving children. Casey Anthony's trial in 2011 for the murder of her daughter Kaylee Anthony was one of the most closely watched trials in years, maybe even decades.
Dun dun dun.
There you go. One of the TV news reports from the time noted there hadn't been fervor for a case like this since the O.J. Simpson trial in the mid-1990s. See, I hadn't read this when we in that first take that we did.
And I made you erase it.
Yeah. I'm upset. And Anthony's trial ended the same way, with an acquittal. Peacock's new 3-part docuseries. Why are you laughing at the way I say peacock?
I'm not. You have to pay for Peacock. This is not free. So if anybody wants to watch it, you think you have to pay. I think you have to pay.
Well, couldn't they just re-stream the trial on YouTube or something? I'm sure you can get like 48 days of the Casey Anthony trial on YouTube.
Yeah.
Anyways, Peacock's new acquittal. Peacock's new 3-part docuseries, Casey Anthony, Where the Truth Lies, brings the trial to a new generation of viewers and marks the first time Anthony has spoken out at length about the death of her daughter since she was found not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child in July of 2011. Got anything for that?
No. Just that I remember that.
Okay. The new series, which begins streaming today, reveals that shortly after the verdict, which did find her guilty of providing false information to law enforcement. Oh yeah, remember she kept telling people, kids not in my trunk?
No, that wasn't it.
It wasn't that one? Was that some other child at the same time?
This one, they found in the pool. Or it was a jacuzzi or something. We need to do our research.
Okay, maybe it'll say in here. It'll probably say on the series. Subscribe to Peacock now. The new series, which begins streaming today, reveals that shortly after the verdict, which found her guilty of providing false information to law enforcement, Anthony, now 36, went into hiding after she and her legal team received death threats.
Of course they would.
Despite the verdict, the court of public opinion had already decided that she had murdered her daughter for a few reasons.
Yes, we all thought she did.
Yeah. Well, from your summation of the trial to me, I thought she was guilty. Okay. First, her daughter had been missing for 31 days before Casey's mother, Cindy, called the police.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you only had to wait 48 hours.
Well, if it's a baby, it's immediate. That's like an Amber Alert sort of thing. Or like, child is gone, I can't find my baby. They come immediately. Or they should.
Yeah, that's more of a big deal,
Yes.
I think. All right, well, second, the media had published photos of Casey partying, allegedly taken while her daughter was missing. Which is...
Okay, they're saying the photos were taken while her that sentence is bad.
What they're trying to say is that they published photos of Casey partying, and those photos were taken while the kid was missing.
Yes. And yeah, she was. She went to bars and got drunk and was partying.
It's not really how I would react.
No, she was not grieving.
Yeah. And third, she didn't appear to be grieving. She didn't appear to be grieving in the ways people expected a mother to grieve, leading people to deem her a psychopath. An independent psychologist determined that she was not a psychopath. Oh, good to know. Independent psychologist. What's his name? I'm not crazy either. Dun, dun, dun. Wait till later. More than a decade later. Well, don't wait that long. More than a decade later, many are still convinced of Anthony's guilt and are expressing strong reaction to Peacock's new docu-series. An overwhelming majority of the tweets following the release came from people criticizing the streamer for giving her a platform to promote her innocence and introduce evidence that points to another suspect.
So, okay.
This is like the O.J. Simpson If I Did It book.
Yeah, so who started it? Did Peacock started it?
What do you mean, like, who asked to do the series? Did Peacock ask her to do a series?
Yeah. Or did she want to do it?
Her publicist probably sent over, hey, guys, I have the best story for you guys. Like...
So the people are criticizing the streamer for giving her a platform to promote her innocence. So, I'm just assuming she wants to clear her name because people still think she's guilty. And they want to introduce evidence that points to another suspect.
She's just trying to clear her name in the court of public opinion.
Right.
Because she was already found not guilty in a court and by a jury.
Why would she want to even drag up again? Because I know she's going to blame her dad. She already blamed her dad before. So she's going to blame her dad. But why even bring this up? It seems like you're just opening yourself up for
ridicule and harassment.
Another trial or something. But maybe, no. Double jeopardy.
You think she's going to be like, hey, I did it?
No, she can't be tried again.
Right, so she can now confess to it.
Oh, this is horrible. She is just...
She's opening up
evil.
A can of worms. All right, we got to get back to this. Okay. Many said they... Okay, promote her innocence. Many said they either stopped watching early...
Many said they either stopped watching early on
didn't say it either.
Because they felt that Anthony was lying, or said they didn't watch at all, advising others to do the same. Shame on Peacock for letting Casey Anthony create another fictional sob story in attempt to sway public opinion. One tweet reads, yeah, it's hard to read. Nobody believes you, and there's a special place in hell for you, and that's exactly what I think.
Yeah, when you're reading it on the spot and you haven't read it before, sight reading, bad press, it's difficult. So it was...
elect Falco. Falco.
They aren't verified. They don't have a blue check mark.
No, it doesn't matter. Not anymore.
They didn't pay their $8. Another user wrote, who didn't pay $8, Casey Anthony is truly a narcissist. Not reporting your daughter missing for almost a month and now coming out with a documentary? We all know what she did. I still can't believe she got away with it. Should have been an open and shut case for that pathological liar.
You go, girl.
How do you know? How dare you assume? Nothing about this says woman. It's 2022. Nothing about this says woman. The docuseries director, Alexandra Dean, told USA Today that she wanted to revisit the case because Anthony had come to understand a lot after years of therapy and wanted to share her side now. And that Dean believes... See, the commas. And that Dean believes the investigation left many stones unturned. Particularly when it came to Casey's father.
I told you!
We didn't scroll down that far, see? Viewers may come away from the docuseries with differing opinions on Anthony's innocence or guilt in the case. Either way, it's a difficult foray into a tragic case. Here's what to know about the revelations and insights presented in Where the Truth Lies. Kaylee's last day. That was very inappropriate of me, and I apologize.
Okay, you want me to read?
In the documentary... What, you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay, go for it.
In the documentary...
Wait. Say the title again so we don't have to go with my really happy one.
Okay. Kaylee's last day. In the documentary, Casey says that the last day she saw Kaylee was June 16th, 2008. She says she was at home with Kaylee and her father when... She says she was at home with Kaylee and her father when she had decided to nap with Kaylee in bed. Casey noted that Kaylee would never leave the room without talking to her first. Casey remembers being shaken and woken up by her father, asking her where Kaylee was. I immediately started looking for her, she says in the second episode. Casey recalls continuing to look for her, and by the time I came back around the left side of the house, I came back towards the front porch, and her father is standing there with her. Casey recalls that her daughter was soaking wet. At this point, Casey says she still believed her daughter was alive. Kaylee would go missing later that day, according to the docuseries. During her trial, Casey's defense attorney suggested that it might have been possible that Kaylee drowned in the pool. But in the docuseries, Casey says that wasn't possible because the ladder wasn't in the pool. Okay, she
So
could have
the
fallen
ladder
in.
The ladder was removed by somebody that threw her in the pool?
That's why she couldn't get out, because there was no ladder.
Mm,
I don't know. Because it was an above-ground pool, she couldn't have gotten in. Kaylee wouldn't have been able to climb in. When asked why the defense made this suggestion, even though Casey knew it wasn't true, she said that her team couldn't present the jury with nothing, so they floated the idea around.
well, wait, if
That's
there's no
weird.
ladder, then the child is the only one that can get in the pool because it's going to take an adult to put them in the pool.
Casey put her in the pool.
Somebody put her in the pool.
Casey also said that Kaylee may have been kidnapped by a babysitter, though her lawyer later admitted she fabricated this accusation. Yeah, I remember that. You always got to blame the babysitter, or the maid, or the help.
Or the immigrant.
Yeah, somebody like that. Seriously, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, South Park did. They stole some Mexican guy or some Puerto Rican guy. That's what it was. They all blamed some Puerto Rican guy. What?
Get up closer.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Casey and her father didn't rush to call the police, and Casey said her father assured her that everything would be okay. At that point, she didn't believe her daughter was dead and thought there was still a chance that she was alive. So she went out to party, I guess.
No, I think she was dead at that point. And, what?
No, I was just looking at the picture. She's crying. What are you crying about?
Oh, this is just a shot of her feeling remorse and thinking back to when she was holding her child's head underwater. Was that inappropriate?
Yes.
Am I getting canceled?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you're not.
It's a joke. Okay. Allegations against Casey's father. In the docuseries, Casey talks at length about the sexual abuse that she says she faced at the hands of her father, George, and her brother, Lee, both of whom have denied all claims. She details her father's alleged abuse, which she says happened. Wow, hang on a second. She details her father's alleged abuse shut up. She details her father's alleged abuse, which she says happened when she was between the ages of 8 and 12, and said that he would come into her room at night and something her, and if she tries to resist, he would smother her with a pillow until she was unconscious.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it because why would it stop at age 12? They don't stop. They don't stop.
I'm continuing. Okay, Casey says in the second episode. Oh, it's a series.
Yeah, docuseries.
I was hoping it was like a documentary series, but they canceled it after the first one. Casey says in the second episode that she had suspicions that her father might have been doing the same thing to her daughter, and expressed regret for not saying anything. So she suspected granddad.
Yes, go ahead.
Multiple people interviewed in the docuseries corroborated Casey's claim against her father, her former fiance, Jesse, whom she told about alleged being abused by her brother, a friend she wrote a letter to from jail, and Robin Adams, a mitigation specialist working on her case in 2009. It offers a fuller context as to what might have happened to Kaylee and why Casey did not appear to be grieving her daughter.
Okay, let's go back up.
It sounds like this is their excuse for why she wasn't grieving.
Her former fiance, Jesse. Casey's former fiance?
I don't...
Whom she told about. Okay. So, I don't know if any of this came out at the trial. Did this come out of the trial and this is why she was found not guilty?
No, this is why she's not a psychopath. This is what they're saying. This is why she's not a psychopath. This is why she wasn't grieving after she killed her kid. It's because, my child's uncle and grandfather can no longer the child. So
I'm partying.
So yeah, drink it up. Put on your cocktail dress. Let's go out and party.
Okay.
Still psychopathic. As Adam says in the docuseries, when you've been a victim of stuff, you pretend that nothing is wrong. It's the separation of the mind from the actions.
Party.
That's how Casey could show up as if she had no troubles in the world during the 31 days. Even after she was arrested, she explains. Casey believed Kaylee was still alive because her dad kept reassuring her and making her believe that Kaylee was just missing until it was reported that her body was found in December 2008. I think Granddad, if we are to not believe her stories or allegations that brother and dad are saying we didn't do this stuff that she's alleging that they did, then I think he was holding out all hope that this is an impossibility. There's no way my granddaughter was drowned by my daughter. I don't think I would be able to accept that I know my parents wouldn't be able to accept that reality. If they found out one of my kids or one of my siblings drowned their children,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to accept that they did that. I'd be freaking out.
Yeah. It's bizarre. I mean, the whole thing is just bizarre. And, do you believe this one person over here
Well, she
who's
said
behaving in this manner?
she got the story out to a couple other people. The fiance, a friend she wrote a letter to from jail,
And Robin Adams.
and a mitigation specialist working on her case after she had already killed the kid.
Yeah.
So she convinced 3 people in the second episode to talk and participate in the second episode about why she is not a psychopath and why she wasn't grieving and why her lies. The Anthony's dead pets and the case against George. During the trial, Casey's brother Lee called her defense team, saying he had something to tell him. He said that when he and Casey were young and their pets would die, their father would bury the pets.
That's normal.
And there was a striking similarity in how Kaylee's body was found and how their pets were buried.
Ew.
You mean under dirt?
Okay.
Maybe that was to point the finger at the father. They wanted to put the blame on somebody else. So I watched enough Murder, She Wrote. One of Casey's team members recalled Lee saying, "When your family pets would die, Dad would wrap the puppy in a blanket, put it in a trash bag, duct tape the trash bag, and we would bury them. This is the same way that Kaylee's body was found, wrapped in a Winnie the Pooh blanket from her bed." Patrick McKenna, one of the investigators on Casey's defense team, says in the docuseries that George had something to do with something.
All right.
So they all knew his M.O. for burying pets. Any one
None
of them
could have
done
done it.
Yeah. So they were all privy to this intel of how to bury a dead pet, and apparently somebody in the family treated the baby as
A dead pet.
a pet and not a child. George's actions during this time were not inspected as much as Casey's. The docuseries posits that while Casey's every move during the 3 years between Kaylee's death and the trial was plastered all over the news outlets, her father George was presented as a hero, and his actions were not as thoroughly inspected.
Oh, you know what? That's kind of like John Benet Ramsey.
Oh, ignoring the parents?
Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Investigators say in the
See,
it's a documentary and not a docuseries.
Yep.
That they noticed that George did not seem emotional when they first spoke to him.
Well, neither did Casey. Come on. Casey was never emotional. She was out partying.
That's twice.
Oh,
3 times. Let's see. Emotion spoken to them. In the second episode, McKenna says things already felt off when he met George and Cindy. As he's being introduced, Cindy is booking interviews with daytime television shows like The Today Show. And another man in the house is boasting about raising $27,000 for their foundation to help other parents find their missing kids. All of which took place after Kaylee's remains were found.
okay, what's the foundation? And $27,000 is not a lot.
Yeah, how many kids is that going to help find?
Not many. 1? Less than 1?
like-
1 for 1 day, maybe? No.
You spread $27,000 out amongst 27,000 kids. That would be, quick math,
$1
$1 per kid.
That's ridiculous.
McKenna says in the documentary that he came back the next weekend to talk to Cindy. She came late to their meeting because they were out all day on a new bass boat that they were towing. It was totally tricked out, y'all. Freshly painted with the words, "Call 1-800-MISSING-KIDS" on the side of it, McKenna recalls. A clip shows George saying that the boat was called the SS Kaylee Marie in honor of his granddaughter. McKenna noted that it didn't make much sense that George and Cindy bought a boat to go look for other missing kids.
Whoa.
That... Wow.
That's very bizarre.
I think the verbiage here. I really hope they didn't say this the way
I
I
know.
just did.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the kind of look I had on my face while I was reading this. Like, really? The docuseries also alleges that George had an affair during the trial.
God, what is it with men? The woman he allegedly had an affair with took the stand during the trial and said that he unburdened himself to her, saying out of nowhere, it was an accident that snowballed out of control, presumably talking about Kaylee's death.
So she's saying that George confessed to it to her, but they were like, no, we gotta fry Casey. And then Casey got off as not guilty. Was that their one witness that got her off? Casey also says that George made comments about Kaylee that made her uncomfortable. In a speech during Kaylee's funeral, he described in detail the smell of her hair.
Oh my God, Biden.
And how a hug from a child gets him excited like no other. He took the stand and remembered exactly what Kaylee was wearing the day she disappeared, but not what Casey or his wife were wearing. We both were kind of left speechless by that whole paragraph right there.
Are we supposed to be believing all of this?
I don't know who to believe in this. Is it possible that everybody's guilty? Could they have pushed the head under the water together? And then try to play the blame game on each other?
It could have been. I mean, this is unreal.
The whole family is kind of messed up is what it's starting to sound like.
They're not kind of, they are.
But this is all her saying this. Casey says that George made comments. Casey says this. Casey says that. She lied about other stuff. It's possible that this whole docu-series is a fabrication that... I'm not getting a Peacock subscription.
No, and this is disgusting me, so I hope it's almost over.
Yeah, it's almost over. An investigator revisits the case. John Allen, who was a sergeant at... Yeah, I'm going to read this fast. John Allen, who was a sergeant at the Orange County Sheriff's Office during the time of Kaylee's case and supervised the investigation, is adamant about Casey's guilt throughout the entirety of the series.
Yeah.
His reasons include that she lied about who had Kaylee at the time of her disappearance and where she worked, but also because the evidence was stacked against her. I think she killed her daughter, and I think she didn't want to get caught, Allen says. Throughout the docu-series, the audience is presented with evidence and accusations that overwhelmingly point a finger at George, who is a former police officer. In the last episode, Allen states that he believes George had nothing to do with Kaylee's death. The interviewer then asks if George had ever lied to Allen, to which he responds, yeah, at different points in times. Then he adds, seemingly forgetting about his reaction to Casey's lies. But being a liar doesn't make somebody a murderer. What could happen next? With the docuseries seeming to point a finger at George Anthony, viewers may come away wondering whether the case could be reopened.
No.
According to a legal website, Florida does not have a statute of limitations for murder. Many, including those who believe in Casey's innocence, like her former boyfriend's roommate Tony Lazzaro, as well as those who believe she is guilty, would like to see the case reopened.
Whatever.
But there is a statute of limitations on double jeopardy, though. So you can't try her
There's
after...
no such thing.
You can't do... that would be double jeopardy if they tried her again.
Yeah. Statute of limitations and double jeopardy doesn't have anything to do with each other. They cannot take
You know
her.
what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, but yeah, they can't reopen it. They can charge him with murder, but I guess they could reopen it and charge him with murder. But I mean, come on, seriously, because you're coming out with this stupid docu-series, you're gonna go charge your dad with murder. Y'all have a seriously messed up family. There's more to this than what's going on or people realize.
There's more to the story than Time.com is going to tell us about the Peacock series, and probably more than we want to really know about this series.
Or they're making it up. How do you even know?
Yeah, this is Casey's version of the story.
Right.
When are we going to get George's docuseries?
That's true.
I don't think I could watch two docuseries
and they're
about
probably
this.
paying her, so she's making money off this.
Yeah. She can buy another boat to find other kids. You got anything else?
No.
Good. I'm done.
Bye.